Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
Martin Lawrence keeps saying he ain't had no stroke. But every time he do an interview, he looked like he had a stroke. Now why don't somebody say something? Ain't nothing wrong with having a stroke and getting better. What the fuck is we hiding it for? Every interview he come out.
Yo, hey man, check it, man. Hey man, listen, man. I had to jump on here, man, for a second. Listen, I love comedy, man. I watch comedy all the time. You see a lot of comedians come on Boss Talk 101. Everybody, a lot of guys that even somewhat, call themselves trying to get into it has come off the Boss Talk 101 platform. Wanna-be comedians have came on, and it's just, it's crazy to me how this world is, man. But when I got in this game, I felt like comedy was one of the most amazing things because I love to laugh. Well, I watch Katt Williams a lot, and this is something that kept coming over. I'm like, dang, man. So as you know, when you go back and look at how he started the year in 2024, he talked about Martin trying to put him in a dress. I also had Brandon T. Jackson on the show, and he talked about pretty much the fact of how, if he knew Katt Williams was asked to if he asked him to get dressed, why he didn't just call him.
What did he say exactly?
Here's what's funny. He's like, here's what's funny about those things. I told Brandon D. Jackson not to wear the dress, but then I've told them to go get Brandon D. Jackson to wear the dress. I'm like, I'm like, did I just get pimped? He told me not to wear the dress, but then he said, I told them to go get Brandon D. Jackson. That's what y'all want. I'm like, why you gonna refer me to the devil? Don't refer me to the devil, because I know you, because you would have did it. I'm like, nigga, I'm 23, nigga, 25, whatever.
And, hey, listen, man, this time around, we're looking at something a little different. He's got a thing that he does in his comedy now, and you have to ask yourself, is this going too far? He accuses Martin of having a stroke, and Martin has never came out openly and said that he had a stroke. There was a few things that kind of lean toward that might be a thing, but nothing official has been said. And he makes a hell of a part in his comedy about Martin having a stroke, and it's like, is he going too far, or is this comedy? Is this just comedy? When I look at Katt, and I seen when he had said, I think he talked about, he talked about Jamie. I talked about that a few weeks ago, where he lit Jamie up about his comedy special being his funeral. And Katt just don't stop. There is no threshold for Katt. Katt don't play. When it comes down to how he gonna deliver his message, he don't let up. Definitely have not heard nobody openly say this about Martin before. A lot of people that respect and look up to Martin probably would never say it. But Katt likes to push the narrative as far as you could possibly push it in the comedy genre. So I had to ask myself, I said, let me get on here and ask the people, with him speaking out about alleged Martin might have had a stroke, do you think he's going too far, or do you think this is something that's permissible in this climate, in this day and time? When you see Martin, I seen Martin on Bad Boys, that last one they did. I seen Martin on a few specials. I seen him come out. I even talked to Gary Owens and a couple more people that had been on tour with him that says that it's just amazing the way his show is when he comes out, and the way that they got it, everything happening when he comes out and does his part in the show. But the thing that sticks out to me is a lot of time when you see Martin looked at like he might have been a little bit, off balance from what he used to be, but he's getting older. So I kind of pushed it toward the getting older factor more than I did toward the stroke factor. But then you look at somebody with a big platform like Katt Williams step up and say that, it's going to turn heads and put them back on that. So when Martin came out in his special, in his stand-up, a few times he has spoken on it. And I don't know if he did it every night. I just know I seen him do it. He came out and addressed the fact and said that he didn't have a stroke. Now, but when you look at Katt said, hey man, what's wrong with don't be ashamed to tell somebody that you done had a stroke. And I'm like, dang, did he have a stroke? It makes you think about it. But like I said, as you see Martin move around, you don't see a lot of downtime. I think it's Eddie Murphy's daughter and his daughter. Eddie Murphy's son and his daughter supposed to get married. And I've heard him talk about that. And I know that was in Now Time. So when you look at Martin's still functioning, Martin's still moving around. But at the end of the day, there are some things that I guess Katt's seeing that he feel like it's off. He said, every time I see him, it looks like he had a stroke. And I'm not really going to say every time I seen him, I seen that. Because on the movie, Bad Boys, unless it was before that, I was looking, I'm like, man, he just looked like to me, he done got a little bit older. But I don't see the stroke thing. But I do know that he's not the Martin that we used to seeing at a younger age. Now, when you see Katt, Katt's so hilarious because Katt's still moving and functioning well and moving like he's always moved. And I get it. And he's like, well, if I'm moving like I've always moved, why wouldn't Martin be moving like he always moved? And I think that's where he's coming from with it, because he say he looks like he had a stroke every time. And I'm like, every time? Not every time. Because when I look at, like I said, Bad Boy, or any of the times I've seen him do, like his reunion for the Martin show, when I seen him, and I even had Carl Payne on, and I asked Carl Payne how he was doing, even though, you hear all the rumors. Carl said he was doing fine, that he's on tour and that he's rolling. So when you see these things, man, you just out here listening and you hearing things like what Katt is saying, and then you see him functioning the way he's functioning. Then you hear other people speaking on it, and next thing you know, you trying to figure out, is he okay? And like I said, man, when I hear him just on some conversating thing, if he did go through something, there's no limbs, because you can tell when somebody had a stroke, like the way Katt was walking on the video, you might have your hand may be messed up or held over a certain way. Your leg, you might be dragging one side. Your one side become like maybe paralyzed. Or my uncle, I think his speech got messed off a little bit just by the stroke. Or it could be a thing where I've had partners that had strokes and didn't have no issues afterwards. I didn't have no signs, kind of like Jamie just experienced, where he came out of it and he was able to shake back and get all his movement back, all his limbs start functioning correctly, and you can't tell that he had a stroke. So, guys, you got to get in the comments and let me know, do you really feel like Katt pushed the narrative too far? Or do you feel like everything's fair game when it comes to comedy? And if you want to say anything and everything about anybody, you can just speak out and say it, even if it has not been confirmed? Or do you feel like he was wrong? Do you feel like he shouldn't have said it and he shouldn't be speaking on Martin in his stand-up? Get in the comments and let me know, because like I said, man, I'm kind of in between. I don't know. I love both of these dudes. These dudes are hell of a comedians. It's hard for me to pick a side. I ain't picking no side. Y'all always want somebody to pick a side, but I'm telling you, I pick both sides, Martin and Katt Williams. So love Martin. That Martin show just did it for me. And when Katt came on the scene doing his thing, I had to respect it, because the dude is funny. The dude's a comedian, But at the end of the day, do you agree with what he's saying, And get in the comments now. Let me know. Do you? I seen this and I said I wanted to speak on it because, like I said, this comedy thing is something that I do, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel, man. There's been another great segment, aka Boss Talk 101 review.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.